Hello and welcome to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. This is my free-to-play account. Some of you may not know about this if you're new to the channel. We've had a huge surge in viewers lately. So I have two accounts. One is a free-to-play account I call the Young CGB account, but mostly I'll use the term free-to-play to keep it from being confusing. But this account doesn't have any gems. It has a very small collection, and the idea was to see what I could do with an account that's completely free to play. And I'm recording this intro because we're playing this on the free to play account, and I wanted to let you guys all know what's going on. So I've decided, with now having a limited series that we're doing, that I want to draft on the free to play account. It just means more to the account to get more cards, to draft on this account. It also adds an interesting dramatic tension between whether to rare draft or to draft for the draft. But there is a problem with all that. Sealed, 2,000 gems. All right. Draft Guilds of Ravnica, 750 gems. Or 5,000 gold. We don't have 5,000 gold. So I had to grind out some quests and I had to grind out some gold for this account. And in doing that, I entered my budget blue deck, which made completely free with free-to-play winnings. And in a constructed event to get to 7, it's a best of 1. And I thought it made, I didn't set out intending to record or upload it for everybody, but I thought the games were really good. And I thought it was a very nice showing. So I am going to upload the event. I will cut 2 games because they were both just the poorest train wreck of draws that you could imagine and not worth the time. Kind of depressing to watch, but I will keep in several what I thought were very good games. So if you enjoy the mono blue deck or the challenge of free to play, this video will be for you. Not to. This hand on the draw, I'm going to mulligan it. It's not a Curious Obsession hand. This isn't either, but maybe we can scry our way into it. But pretty much when you play the mono blue deck, you want the Curious Obsession hands. Nothing else really does it. Not in the current meta. A Spell Pierce. Nope, you're not a Curious Obsession. Makes decisions pretty easy. You are a Curious Obsession. Now I want that Spell Pierce back, but what can you do? Our opponent, Drakes. Doing the Drakes. I think I want to... Now they're going to have no lack of flyers. Trying to decide whether or not I want to play out this Diamond Mare or just get curious right away and hope to top deck a dive down or something like that. I also need to draw land anyway to play Tempest Djinn. Let's go for the high upside play. Our opponent will likely find removal, but maybe they'll assume that I have dive down Spell Pierce and play around it. Maybe we can take advantage of them somehow. We found another land, so we'll have a Tempest Djinn on time. With Lava Coil as the removal, though, you have to feel like they're pretty good in the matchup. Yep, shock, away you go. Saddest Curious Obsessed Tamer ever. And we'll be waiting while they make a chart a course decision. They discard another shock. Their hand is loaded. That's what you can take away from that exchange. Their hand is loaded if they're discarding shock. In this matchup, shock is pretty good. Let's see. Let's play out a Djinn. See if they have Lava Coil ready to go. Even if they do, we have a backup. Loaded. Absolutely loaded. Although I find most Drake's players are very opposed to discarding Opt ever. So this turn I'm going to get the Diamond Mare and the Stormtamer out there so that Stormtamer can protect a Djinn next turn, as it's sort of down to my last hurrah. It's kind of weird. Why would you discard Shock, something that you know will probably hit something like a Stormtamer or something curious, something useful, and keep an Opt, hoping that your next couple cards are as good as a shock when you have a shock in hand. It seems weird to me. All right, well, our opponent's got the Drake. We've got the Djinn. The Drakes generally win because they are, well, they get a lot bigger. But the toughness is the same. Opponent reminds himself they have a Stormtamer to deal with, so targeting the Djinn won't go easy. Arclight Phoenix comes down. Is this an attack from Enigma Drake? I would. If I were my opponent, I would. No blocks. Ouch. Merfolk Trickster is a pretty good draw. I think I will play the Exclusion... Well, Exclusion Mage bouncing Enigma Drake's very good too, but right now it's tapped anyway. The Arclight Phoenix, though, it comes back. We could bounce it, and then they have to pay all that mana for it, and we get in for 7. That sounds pretty good. Let's try that. Let's take that line. And then we can also trick it if they try to use it as a blocker next turn. All right, the race is on. Merfolk Trickster wants to compete in this race. He's a player. Besides, if they have to cast the Phoenix again, we're very happy. If they want it for free, they have to find a way to discard it and play 3 spells. It's usually what the deck is built to do. It wouldn't surprise me if they pull that off. Can the life gain from Diamond Mare pay some dividends in this one? We will see. It's still a 1 of Diamond Mare, by the way. Okay, 1 card's a land, so the 3 spell thing is going to be rough. And does the Drake attack again? How brave are you? The opponent usually doesn't have an instant speed way to kill the Djinn. It's always Beacon Bolt and Lava Coil, so I feel safe casting this on end step if given the chance. Okay. Oh, they've got that card. Let's see if they're willing to attack. They are not. So Merfolk Trickster can be excellent against Enigma Drake. So if we offer the trade and tap the Enigma Drake, the Drake dies because it loses its ability and becomes an 0/4. Is that what we want to do? I think so. Alright, here comes the Djinn. Because if that Enigma Drake is out of the picture, I think we're in control of this board. Coward. Alright. We'll make them get back the Phoenix. They only have 1 card in hand, so I'm confident the Phoenix won't come back right away. And we'll pass the turn. Also, if the Drake attacks, we can ambush it with the Trickster. And here comes a radical idea. That might get that Phoenix back. That's the perfect card to have. You've got to wonder, did they draw that? Did they have that? Here comes a coil. Here comes a counter. But it appears to me that they wished that this is part of the get my Phoenix back plan. No attacks. No Phoenix. What is the card they are holding? What would make sense? There's nothing that makes sense. Something they don't want to discard and something they don't want to cast. Maybe it's another Lava Coil and they think they're going to get this Tempest Djinn somehow, some way. Also trying to figure out if I can get lethal here with the Trickster. But I think it's better to use it as a removal spell on the Drake. And now I wish I'd played it because we would have had lethal. Alas. I think we shove with all. If the Drake blocks something else, we can play a Trickster. And then our creature lives. And our opponent takes a lot of damage from the experience. Okay. Happy to make that trade. The Mage for the Electromancer. And maybe my opponent won't play around a Trickster after this one. Down to 5. Big turn coming. Niv. Sure. Is that what they weren't willing to discard? I suppose. Let's see if there's an attack coming. No. Alright. Trixies. Tap that away. Curious Obsession for the lulls, but at this point the block here is still lethal, so no reason to play out the other spell. And that was an exciting game. Alright, it's a pretty good hand. It has 2 protections for the Djinn in the Stormtamers, an Essence Scatter for a threat. It doesn't not have a Curious Obsession, but I think we've got to give it a try. We'll try to keep track of the number of, like, turn 2 Curious Obsession plus protection hands we get. Do I save to counter a Wild Growth Walker? Or do I play double Siren Stormtamer and roll with it? I think I'll wait a turn. Countering a Wild Growth Walker could be big game, as it's one of the only things that really matters that they can do. If not that, then we might just save this for a Chupacabra, because the other creatures don't matter much. Next turn I plan to play a Stormtamer instead of the Djinn anyway, and then we play Djinn with Stormtamer protection the following turn. Branchy, you don't matter. I think we can race Branchy just fine. Jade Light. Save. Or bin. Bin. Alright. Land. Stormtamer. All attack. Hiya! Our little flying protection spells for Tempest Djinn here. Yes, take that damage. Rejuvenator. Yep, I'm fine with that too. The other thing we might want to counter with an Essence Scatter is a Doom Whisper, even though it could come down earlier because of this. The fact that they paid 2 life for the Tomb, that implies to me that they don't have an untapped land for next turn. So I'm willing to take a chance here. We also have Dive Down now, which can fight through a Doom Whisperer. So let's see what happens. It's a pretty good Protect the Djinn setup we have cooking. You can race a Carnage Tyrant from this point. You can survive a Finality with Dive Down. It's unclear what they could do to have a big impact on us. They don't have good attacks. They hit 2 lands off of Jade Light Ranger. This would have been a very good turn. Like, the best thing they could do is Wild Growth Walker Explore this turn to buy a lot of time and make a big presence. That's the best thing that could have come out of it from their side of things. Alright, 7 damage. You've got 1 more turn to live. Make it count. Live like you were dying. And do I play a Trickster to save some amount of damage? No, let's just hold it. Because if the opponent plays Finality, and then we play Trickster afterwards, we still have a 7 lethal damage. So, here comes Dive Down to save the Djinn. Resolve that. So you're gonna see it's going to make a big difference here that we have the Trickster. So we did a very good thing not flinching on that attack. Xaxes. Stevens. Alright, sort of a Curious Protection spell. We can go turn 1 Herald, turn 2 Stormtamers, turn 3 Obsession, pretty safely. And yay, green mana. So against green mana, it might even be safe here to just slam the Obsession and the Stormtamer and say deal with that in 1 turn. I don't love that though. I'll go like this instead. So now I'll have lots of protection for the Herald. Another black-green. A Glow Spore. No lands hit. Stitcher, Stitcher, Chupa. Let's get curious. Seems like a good spot, but we'll see what kind of shenanigans our opponent has to pull. Whether or not to play another Stormtamer? Yeah, the clock moves to a 3-turn clock with another flyer, so let's do it. Rather than the Chart, of course, which would tap us out and leave the Mist-Cloaked Herald naked. Molder Hulk. Those 4 beats. Yep. Not blocking. Racing is what we do. If we had drawn another land there, I would probably have dropped a Tempest Djinn because it could have been a kill next turn. As it is, I think we'll do the Chart, of course, try to draw the land. Did it. Even if we hadn't, we would still have Stormtamer protection, and if we did, that's the most upside with Wizard's Retort protection. Yeah, I'm not messing with that. I can lose some I can take some damage. Not messing with that either. Ooh, the Forgers. We have to make sure that doesn't come back. If they pass the turn here, I'm also not tapping out for Trickster. They could have Assassin's Trophy. Assassin's Trophy is a real card. Necrotic Wound. We could counter it and our opponent takes 5 and then we offer 5 damage next turn. Or we could sacrifice a Stormtamer, play a Djinn, then we only have 1 mana open. I don't like that. Alright. Let's hit this with the Wizard's Retort. So that we still do the full 5 damage here. Because we may need it. Another Trickster is excellent. That gets some extra damage through even if the Herald dies. As long as they don't leave back 2 blockers. Here they come. No problem. Down to 4 life. Plague Crafter. Okay, let's resolve that. Let's play a Trickster. Tap the Plague Crafter. And we can give up a Stormtamer, and that will be lethal. I hate girls rage. Yeah, it's 2018. Let's see if I can show you what's up. The hand is good. All right, let's roll it. Wizards gets a load of this screen name. You may really hate things, and you may have a lot of rage. It might just take your account from you. A Blaine's a Marshall. Alright. The white matchup's tough. And we have so many 1/1s. Do I trade with this? Nope. At least I don't have to think about a Goblin Chain Whirler showing up. But we're going to take the same line that we took last game, which is to get Stormtamer protection first, then Curious Obsession second. Oh boy. Should have traded with it. I guess we'll get Tajik dead. It's a bad trade, but we can still Stormtamer and protect with Curious next turn. And hopefully make up the card advantage, because this clock is going to thump us a lot faster than our card advantage can matter. Alrighty, the 1-drops, the 1-drops are flowing, my friends. What more can you say? Alright, a Boros Challenger for the opponent, and they get him for 2. Hopefully we draw our tempo cards. A sleep would be pretty great probably in this matchup. Essence Scatter might be very good. Let's go get him. Righteous Blow, perhaps? Must be Integrity. Integrity Intervention. That must be the card. Opt off the top. How many spells to play? Do I play the other Herald? Or do I hold up an Opt and an Essence Scatter? I think I'll save the Herald so that I have a Stormtamer available and an Essence Scatter, since I'm sure there may be something I need to counter here. And if that becomes unnecessary, I have the Opt. Opponent reading the Stormtamer, probably because of the Integrity Intervention. I think their best bet is to beat down. Use Integrity aggressively. Go for the life total. Make me find my tempo cards. Oh, that's sweet. That is sweet. Alright, I'll opt now and see if this changes my play in any way. Probably not, but I don't intend to block. Alright, Diamond Mare, you're not the worst here. We're in a race. Diamond Mare's sorta alright. Let's get in there. Another land, so we can go like this. Name the color blue. And I think my opponent, like I said, has Integrity Intervention, which I can counter with the Stormtamer. I don't think they can double spell me, so I'll play out the Mist-Cloaked Herald. We're in a racing situation. Every little bit may count. These are wizards, so I still have my wizard's retort available. No attacks. The only thing that can block is the Diamond Mare. It's a little silly to me. But let's see what they've got. Maybe there's some trick I'm not thinking of, something with Convoke. Settle the Wreckage, perhaps? Uh-huh. So we could counter this, or we could Storm Tame it. Right now, this is 5 damage. The only thing is that there's some things a Storm Tamer can't counter, but I can't think of what from Boros that would be. Deafening Clarion, that is a thing. But I do have lethal next turn if they can't interact. I still think they have an integrity intervention though, so they're going to interact anyway. So in that case, I'm going to use the Storm Tamer. Because I can't expect lethal next turn. There'll be some form of interaction. And the opponent will scoop. Alright, this hand does not have creatures. It has everything else I possibly want, but no creatures, and it's gotta go. And there's our beloved Diamond Mare, hanging out with a Tempest Djinn. I can keep this hand. It's not a great hand, and I don't need another 3-drop because I may never draw another land. So I'll put that on the bottom. Full Grip and Healer's Hawk, oh boy. Diamond Mare, Diamond Mare. Gonna need that life gain. And hopefully we can even attack in with it and draw 2 off chart, of course, here. Repair the damage done by this mulligan, but it looks like our opponent might have the dreaded, yep. The very, very dreaded 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop. Okay, protecting the Vanguard. Well, I could have a Curious Horse. Is it the worst thing? As soon as they can block it, it's the worst thing. Oh, man. That's a decision. But they won't block it this turn, so it's a free card. And possibly 2 free cards with chart, of course. Oh, man. I'm sure they can gum up the ground. I'm also sure they want to be attacking. This sort of messes with that. And just makes things a little more awkward for them. So let's see what happens here. If we draw the land, I'll probably play out the Storm Tamer to protect it. I don't think we're in a good spot no matter what, but this does just make things a little weird for my opponent. Ooh. We could hold up a Spell Pierce for Conclave Tribunal or a History of Benalia, but there's so many ways that gets punished. I'm gonna do it though. I'm going to do it, because I think those are the 2 most wrong things that can happen here. Hold on to your butts. Venerated Loxodon's really bad too. Oh my. This game is over. Too much beef. Alright, well, a land off the top isn't the worst. We have to attack with the Diamond Mare or its abilities fall off. The Snubhorns will make really good blockers though. So what do I do? Do I defend against... Oh, they took it. Wow. Okay, so do I defend against a Pride of the Conquerors with a Wizard's Retort? Or do I play a Tempest Djinn that can start blocking? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are 1 permanent away from ascending. Maybe we can counter that permanent. It's unlikely. They're likely to have 2 permanents to play, but we can give it a try. You gotta take the weird lines that might somehow steal you a game. There's the Ascending. Never mind. Failed. And there is Benalia. Alright. We can Spell Pierce that. They did have it last turn. That at least tells me some of my instincts weren't terrible. Here comes the team, I'm guessing. Yep. And I am blocking, but what am I blocking? Do I block the flyer? Do I block the thing that makes other things indestructible? I'll block the flyer. And we're gonna feel this. 2/6. All right, land. So what do we do here? We can block 1, we can block 2, and go to 1. Oh wait, we gain some life here, so we don't even have to make blocks that badly. Let's keep attacking because, well, it's our only way back in is with cards. We need cards. Do it, Diamond Mare. Draw those cards. All right. Here's a Tempest Djinn. And here's a Stormtamer, and please don't top deck a Conclave Tribunal. Diamond Mare keeping me alive. Fighting the fight. Sky Marcher, sure. More dorks. Let's see if the opponent's willing to charge in, if that's their game plan here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I will have to block 2 things. But I can do it. I think it's still worth it to attack, though. I think the opponent should keep me on the ropes. If I'm in their seat, I'm attacking. Though the risk is that you give up your Snubhorn sentries and such, and you just keep bashing your head against the wall. Yeah, here they come. Alright, you over here, you over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Yep. There's no reason to sacrifice the bodyguard, so don't do that. I mean, you could do it. Don't get me wrong. Help me out a lot. If we don't attack with the Diamond Mare, the Curious Obsession falls off. If we do attack with the Diamond Mare, we have to get to at least 5 life, which doesn't sound realistic. Let me start with an opt. Dive down? Not really. Okay, another land. Let's chart a course. Well, if I'm going to attack first anyway, this would put me at 4. Then I'd be dead on the crackback. So nope, can't really do that at this point. So let's chart this course. And another Curious Obsession. So we can replay a Curious Obsession later. We can't cast a Wizard's Retort at this time. So I'll discard one of those and we'll cast another Chart a Course and keep gaining life. Another land. Alright, Retort can go. And if I'm dead, so I can't attack this turn. So we lose the Obsession. But I keep the blocker. And I do have another. It'll get better. I should have discarded this land. I thought I still had a land to play. That was a mistake. I accept that. Did they draw Pride of the Conquerors? One way to find out. Must be a History of Benalia or something of that nature. Oh, a land. I think that gives me a chance. So, up to 3. We've got a block here. This is up to 4. I could go on the Djinn. Start cracking with that baby. But I think it's better to keep the Diamond Mare coming. The Diamond Mare. MVP. Another Djinn. Are we really doing this? Is this happening? The card is a Vanguard. Okay. But I think the days of attacking have ended. Trickster. Well, we have to attack with somebody. We don't have to attack with the Diamond Mare. I think it's a good idea to start sending in the Djinn, Team Djinn. Trickster can definitely buy us a turn for that too. As long as it's attacking, +1/+0, pay 4 life, indestructible. If I take those abilities away, that's really mean. Alright. We'll look committed here, but let's start hitting them hard. Should have played the land first. What am I thinking? I'll hold it till next turn now. It's a shame thing. Plus, I don't want them to math right. I don't need them to pay the 4 life for the indestructible. I can use this after this attacks to turn it back into a 1/1. But am I worried about a Pride of the Conquerors? I think I am, actually. I think that's a fair bet, because if I play this after combat and we go block, 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 then one creature gets through. Well, then that one creature with a Pride can't kill me, so it's fine. Leaving it all on the table. Ah, yes, they definitely don't have it. So I could tap this down and have the lethals. Sounds good. Tap you. And now I want to keep my Stormtamer if I can. So we can block like this, and even a Pride of the Conquerors doesn't kill us, and I still have my Stormtamer for Settle the Wreckage, which is the only other thing I can think of to get them out. Hiya. Get him. Yes! Holy cow. That was a good game. Okay, it's a pretty good hand. Our One of Sleep actually showed up. I think it's the first time I've seen it. We've got Mist-Cloaked Herald, Dive Down, and a Curious Obsession. We're on the play. It's what you want. I think this is the first time I've had the full dream opener with the deck. Be exactly what you want. Let's see if the opponent has land, mountain, shock, dead. No, they do not. And away we go. We are reliant on the top of the deck quite a bit, though. Our hand is looking kind of sad. There's definitely a window here where the opponent could go removal spell, and we could be out of luck quickly and left with nothing but lands and the card sleep. But against green-black, they're pretty slow. Not known for their speed. 7 lands. No, that's 6 lands. Count. Maths. There's a retort. Excellent. And it's funny how picking up one more counter spell from a situation like this can just feel like you've got it. Just like, what are they going to do to you? Crushing Canopy. Well, Dive Down won't defend from that, so we have to drop a retort. Interesting to see Crushing Canopy here. A Tempest Djinn with a Dive Down. Oh my. It's all working out. Vraska's Contempt. Ouch. 4 mana removal, 1 mana Dive Down. Nasty. And another retort off the top. Just about puts the bow on this one. You can play out a Herald. I'm not sure why or how I'd need it, but maybe a Plaguecrafter sacrifice. And that's it. That's going to be the 7th win. And excellent. The free-to-play account needed those coin, so we can enter drafts in the future. Let's see our prizes too. They matter a lot more on the free-to-play account than normal, so please give me some playable cards. No. Probably not anytime soon. It's too niche. And that's my 4th Mausoleum Secrets. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I thought it was a really good run for the mono blue deck, and getting to 7 wins, getting on the edge of the 5,000 gold needed to draft. I look forward to bringing you drafts on the free-to-play count in the future. Thank you very much to my Patreon supporters for supporting the Young CGB free-to-play series, and to all of my viewers, thank you so much. I will see you, as always, in the next video.